Howdy! The buffet on the Carnival Radiance. How does that compare with the main dining? That's a great question. Kinda glad I asked it. But if you really want to know, this is George the Fearless Rambler, and I have a story to tell you. Come join me. Planning a cruise months in advance for the Carnival Radiance, picking out the right cabin, heading off to the ship, and waiting at the cruise port what seems like hours to get on board. It gives you a lot of time to ponder. What food will be at the buffet? Yeah, I think about that a lot. For example, how does it measure up to that main dining room? And do I really want to eat at that buffet? With that said, Quacky the Duck asked, "Fearless, did you eat at the buffet?" And I said, "Yeah, I did. And we also enjoyed the food." All cruisers know, when you board the ship, the first agenda is to rush to that buffet or the fast food to grab some grub, especially from a long day of driving to that cruise port and waiting around with millions of cruisers till your number is called. All aboard! So take some time, look at the map of the ship, and develop an attack plan for that afternoon of food, fun, and excitement while you're waiting for your cruise cabin to open up. Now, not being a Diamond member of that Carnival VIFP club, you won't be the one to board or the person to hit that buffet first. You quickly realize that the buffet is a favorite spot to start your cruise, with everyone else jamming into the lines of self-serve mayhem. But not much worry here, there's plenty of food to pile onto your plate. You want seconds on your first plate? Go for it! You're on a cruise, there's no calorie counting here. Just like they say at Build-A-Bear, stuff it! Certainly, there's other options to fulfill that need of food during boarding day, such as fast food, or even Pig and Anchor, which looks like a small little meat buffet, and it's only open during boarding day and sea days. But for the duration of this video, I am going to go ahead and focus on that buffet. The buffet is located at the Lido Marketplace, and I'm going to go ahead and do a walkabout around the buffet and look at that cuisine being served up during lunch and dinner. And for those dinner menus, let's do a comparison to that main dining room. Filtering around the buffet on embarkation day, you're going to find a nice spot just to dive right in and get that food that your heart desires. Like that carved roast beef. You'll find they have an array of food for everyone, from that vegetarian to that meatitarian. You know, those on the carnivore diet. Searching out that buffet, my eyes caught those pork rib scutaditos. Yeah, they look great. I took a few for me and for me. Now those Szechuan green beans, I left them alone. My daughter, she was checking out those canned yams. Candy yams. You know, the ones you get at Thanksgiving. Oh, yummy. So much good food here. When do you stop? 5 pounds later? Yeah, that's what happens on a cruise. And of course, I can't skip those mac and cheese. Love mac and cheese. Doesn't everyone? The salad bar here on the Radiance is full of goodness, ready for the taking. Now, what is your reaction when you spot someone eating a bowl of salad during mealtime? You might think, man, this person's really good at healthy eating. And you might just even develop a guilty feeling towards yourself, because apparently the buffet meal that we're eating does not appear as healthy as that great bowl of fresh greens. Don't worry much about your choices. You're on a cruise. There's always a good cake to wallow in your sorrow. And on your sea day, there's chocolate cake day. Yeah, a lot of chocolate cake. That will perk you up. What's your favorite cake on Carnival? Fill me in. Comment below. Now wash down that cake with some fresh brewed-free coffee. Or indulge yourself by grabbing a pretty plastic cup and filling it up with ice and one of those free beverages like water from the tap, iced tea, and for us, lemonade. Of course, they're not forgetting those teetotalers. There's also a variety of tea available. On the first night of the cruise, you might be inclined to go to that main dining room to a relaxing dinner, hoping more than just cafeteria food, wanting great service, and being wowed by that menu, and being served some delicacies from around the world. But what about that lonely buffet? Might they have what you want? They may even have the same food or something special without that long dinner service. Let's go take a look. Ever wondered if the buffet has the same menu as the main dining? Or even something special? When you go on a cruise, you expect the main dining room food to be excellent. Good food, great service. Those that cruise a lot find that each ship and each cruise line have a different flair to the food in the main dining and that buffet. Here's a menu of day 1, showing the main dining versus the buffet. They look very similar. The buffet highlighted a nightly special carved meat like this roasted pork loin on the first night, whereas the main dining had a braised beef brisket, but no carved meat. Both are pretty good, but the braised beef, the winner. The breads were the same between the buffet and the main dining menu. Even this potato-looking multi-grain cranberry roll. But at the buffet, you can also have a bowl full of butter, if you like. Let's go ahead and walk through this buffet line. All 4 nights in the main dining, they featured an Indian vegetarian dish. It was absolutely one of the best dishes on the menu. And at the buffet, there were also several vegetarian options, such as the Srisi Ibisi, a delightful bean or pea and rice dish from Venice. Both the buffet and the main dining presented this special treat from Casina del Capitano, Pollo Parmesan, a lightly breaded chicken with of course some cheese on it, prepared by that specialty restaurant on board. Don't forget those smoked chicken quesadillas as your appetizer. Back to a couple more of those vegetarian gluten-free foods, braised green beans and baked potatoes. Hey, deck that potato out with some bacon, cheese, and sour cream. One of the favorites here on the buffet is the sweet and sour shrimp. Here at the buffet, you can fill your plate up as high as you want. But at the main dining, they also serve up this dish. But they make it look nice and pretty. But the taste? Well, it was the same. The daily fish was different. At the main dining, you could order up some grilled mahi-mahi or salmon. Or here at the buffet, you could scoop up a full basset fillet, a species of catfish from Southeast Asia. Very firm and tasty. We will end this day 1 dinner buffet with roasted vegetable lasagna, a vegetarian dish, what was also served as an entree in the main dining room. The night 2 dinner buffet, you'll find plenty to eat, with carved meats, fish, chicken, and of course vegetarian and gluten-free options. You're going to find out that the buffet menu again is very similar with that main dining room menu, with mushroom bisque, fried oysters, spaghetti carbonara, striped bass, and a vegetarian vegetable pie. Here on the Radiance, it was prime rib night, carved freshly at the buffet, or served up beautifully in the main dining. If you want seconds on that prime, head off to the buffet after you eat in the main dining, and get an extra slice or 2. That could fill your need. Here's a small sampling of the buffet we tried, including that delightful vegetarian vegetable pie, those well-cooked fried oysters, moist striped bass, prime rib, and spaghetti carbonara. We also slurped down that wonderful wild mushroom bisque, and we topped it off with a low-calorie coffee cream cake. We waited so long for our dessert at the Sunset restaurant that we left, but we had the same dessert up here except for the creme brulee, so we're going to try this coffee cake. The bread of the night was the same in both restaurants, ciabatta and petite sourdough, served up with this creamy wild mushroom bisque, prepared with buttermilk, sherry, and Gouda. If you love Italian, spaghetti carbonara. It is an Italian dish with bacon, parmesan, and cream. In the main dining, they had a well-cooked fried oyster with chipotle aioli sauce. We found the oysters in the buffet, but we couldn't find the aioli. But you can get scoops of them. Why just settle for 2? Now let's go ahead and look at this vegetarian section. These vegetable pies with herb ricotta mousse and roasted red peppers, oh, they were really delicious. Buttered broccoli and a double baked potato. You know what that means? They heated up yesterday's potatoes leftovers. Again, call them double baked. These are not twice baked potatoes. Wish they were. Then there was that stuffed chicken breast, what seemed to be a crowd favorite, and not served up in that main dining. And for me, let's top it off with that pan-fried striped bass, certainly my favorite of the night, moist and sweet. On the 3rd night, the buffet had a nice, more independent offering. So what I'm referring to is that the buffet menu wasn't even close to the main dining. The main dining on this 3rd night was kind of lacking. Maybe if you like spare ribs or lasagna. So we skipped the main dining this night. On this night, we headed off to a specialty restaurant, Bonsai, a Japanese-style cuisine restaurant. So I didn't do much eating here, but I did do a walkthrough to show the food. The highlight of the buffet was the carved barbecue brisket. What a wonderful treat. There was some great Carolina mop slop to go over your brisket, some dill pickled mustard sauce to put on it, and pickled red onions. Oh yeah. Now let's see what else we can pile on our plate. Good menu tonight. We could start out with some good slow-cooked doof de bouf, then heading over to that smothered pork steak. Chicken masala, yeah, for my daughter, Cajun garlic butterfish. The ground beef ziti al forno is looking good, and those need some gluten-free. There's that chicken and sausage paella. And on the second side, we have some chicken pad thai with a side of garlicky broccoli and cauliflower stir fry. And for that vegetarian dishes, there's grits, roasted garlic mash, broccoli again, and ratatouille. Sounds like a Disney movie. We chose the buffet for our fourth night dinner. We liked what the buffet was serving, especially that lamb. Yeah, we need to try that out. Also again, the main dining entrees just didn't look that interesting to us. As we do a comparison between the two menus, we'll see that there's a similarity with the panini, the enchiladas, and the pork loin. Other than that, if you want that mahi-mahi, head over to the buffet. The carved meat of the night was stuffed leg of lamb. Leg of lamb was not being served at the main dining room, and this is one of the reasons why we wanted to eat at the buffet. It was so tender and delicious, especially with a dab of mint jelly. Of course, if you want your shrimp, it's here. Fill your plate up with them, like most people at the buffet. The panini moriscos was full of seafood, shrimp, mussels, calamari, and even more. So, it's a seafood. Got some squid, mussels on here. There's some white fish down in here. Serve yourself up some blackened mahi-mahi. Or go for some chicken Milanese. The chicken cutlet is pounded thin and then dredged in flour, eggs, and seasoned breadcrumbs, and then fried with a crispy coating. The vegetarian vegetable enchilada looks pretty good, and one of the main dishes here would be that jerk pork loin. Oh yeah, and don't forget that baked potato again. For being a buffet, it was a well-prepared dinner, and without the hustle and the time in the main dining hall. And don't forget, they do breakfast and lunch here every day, with new menus and new exciting things to eat. Except for breakfast, it's about the same every day. But what of you? As we enjoy this breakfast, heading into our next port, I want to thank each one of you for joining us today. Become a member of that rambling crew. Subscribe and hit that notification bell if you like these videos. And if you don't, hit it anyway. Give me 2 thumbs up, because this is George the Fearless Rambler, wanting to eat again, signing off.